So we're gonna start the live stream as per usual. It's Monday. I'm trying to little by little do a live stream at least like once a week, something like that. Usually on Mondays. So yeah, I do have a topic that I do want to talk about for the live stream, and of course we'll still do the typical Q&A and all that other stuff that comes with the live stream. But I hope everybody's doing all right. For those of you that are just coming in, please, as you make your way in, hit that like button. It would just let YouTube know there's a live stream going on and that people are actually tuning in for it. So I really appreciate it. But if somebody, Scott, or somebody, any of my moderators, can give me a thumbs up, let me know you can hear me, then we'll be good to go. Make sure I got a couple articles pulled up here that are very interesting that I want to talk about in the live stream today too. Let's see, wait for the thumbs up, make sure everybody can hear me all right. We should be good, we normally are, but you never know. Audio's good? Okay, perfect, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cruise news every day, hey, hey, hey. Hey, isn't that somebody else's line? Yeah, so there's some stuff I want to talk about with cruising right now, and I don't want to make this out to be some negative thing either. I want to just have like a conversation, and of course we'll all hang out and talk about stuff going on with cruising. As most of you know, it's been interesting, and I've been hearing a lot of stuff through like the grapevine. You guys know that since I'm a former crew member, I do have constant communication with crew members, not just with NCL, the cruise line I work for, not just with Carnival, but with like pretty much every mainstream cruise line out there. And the messages that I get every single day in emails and pictures and videos that I've been getting, for everybody that's been sending those, I appreciate that. Keep it coming, because it's interesting to see what's going on with the industry right now. Audio might be good, but the visuals suck right now. Where's Lauren? Lauren's doing some work right now. She's doing some TikTok work. She might stop by. She'll make an appearance, a cameo appearance. She'll be by. You're amazing, keep it up. No, you're amazing, I appreciate you. All right, so I'll give it like 30 more seconds, guys. We'll go ahead and get started. Topic of today, the problem with cruising right now. I think it's a topic that needs to be talked about, because it's something that I keep seeing constantly with cruising, that, you know, between like the bigger news networks, I don't want to say mainstream media because a lot of people take offense to that for some reason, but you know what I'm talking about, the Foxes and CNNs of the world, right? There's so much going on with cruising, as most of you know. There has been no shortage of unfortunate news. Now, a lot of people will look at this stuff as negative, and this is something I'm seeing a lot. I don't think of this stuff that's going on right now as negative. And yes, it can be looked at and perceived as negative, but I think it's just reality, and that's something a lot of people can't fathom right now, and it's crazy. So the problem that I see with cruising right now is kind of similar to last year, because I did make a video talking about this, and yes, for the people that come in later, I will repeat what I'm saying, but the problem with cruising that I'm seeing right now is not only, of course, people are fearful of cruising, not a lot of people, the diehard cruisers, they don't care, right? But for the people that don't care, and what I'm seeing about cruising right now is a lot of people seem to think that cruising is going to be what they think, what they know cruising to be. And a lot of people see these situations happen on board. Maybe you've been a passenger and you've been dealing with these situations on board. And I'm seeing a lot of people get irritated at the cruise lines for things changing, ports missed. And it's crazy because a lot of people that are advocating for cruising, they get on ships and then they complain when things aren't as they thought or what they think it should be. So I just want to kind of remind everybody that, yes, the cruise lines, they're not perfect. And you guys know, and a lot of people will bash me for this and say I'm talking badly about the cruise lines. But one thing I think people should understand when it comes to cruising is that at the end of the day, the cruise ship, the cruise line, and the cruise industry itself is not a person. It is a company, and there are a lot of people within that company that can potentially make the wrong decisions. They can only care about the bottom line, meaning they're only worried about the money and the profits that they could make. And I think this is something that is kind of looked over the heads of a lot of people when they think of cruising, because the only thing they think about is the great vacation that they're having. Wow, I just said a mouthful. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and go to these comments, and we'll get back to it. But I just food for thought. I think it's something that a lot of people just are not really thinking about when it comes to like a cruise ship experience right now. Let me see. Let me go ahead and go on back, guys. I do try my best to get to the comments, and if I miss some people, I apologize. Should shut it down and fix the problem. So the thing is about a shutdown is if there is a cruise ship shutdown, what's going to happen is we could potentially see something like we saw last year where everybody's going to jump on the shutdown. The CDC, all the people that are making all the mandates, they can make it harder to come back, right? The cruise lines could say all day, we're going to shut down for a week. But if they do, let's say, excuse me, a company-wide shutdown, something of that nature, you could bet that the other industries that are involved, as well as the health organizations that are involved, they could potentially keep it down longer. And that's the issue while you don't want an entire cruise ship industry shut down. Excuse me. Now, what I think would make sense, because look at what happened with Odyssey of the Seas. We know we had a lot of cases on board. I believe it was like 80 something. What was it? 69 crew and what is it, 18 passengers, I believe, on Odyssey of the Seas. However, they turned right back around and took some more people. And now I'm hearing that other people are now also testing positive on the Odyssey. Now, David, I'm still waiting for confirmation on that, but it does make sense considering the quick turnaround time for cruise ships. Now, I believe that cruise lines maybe should just look at the option of, if there's not an outbreak, but you guys know, an outbreak on board the ship or a lot of cases, maybe take a couple days and clean house. That's something that hasn't been done, and I think that's something that should be looked at, considering the environment that we are. Even if it's just to, kind of create like a better image overall for cruising, give people some peace of mind. Let me see. I'm gonna go to the comments. Audio might be good. Oh yeah, we already read that. Visuals suck. Yeah, no, Lauren's not here. All right. I'm sorry, guys. You should still hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see. Had an 8-day on Carnival 3 weeks ago. It was awesome. I bet it was. Are you trying the new Margaritaville ship? Yeah, I'll be on the inaugural sailing of the what will be renamed the Mardi Gras Village Sea. I'll be on that ship. My parents got the results today, and they got positive for their cruise tomorrow. They were pissed because they felt like normal. Yeah, that's another topic for discussion, right? Of course, with the Omicron, we all know it's more transmissible, and we all know everything that's going on. Hey, Tony. There is the situation where the Omicron variant is more transmissible, and that's causing a lot of problems because you have people, whether it be crew or passengers, that are currently on ships that feel fine, but then they have this issue where they're still being quarantined and put away out off of their balcony decks and taken to like deck 3, red deck, wherever it is that they're quarantining everybody, and it's creating a lot of anger, a lot of frustration among passengers and crew as well. Let's see. Just missed one. What are the cruise lines doing when somebody tests positive for the virus? They are taking them and they are putting them potentially, let's say if somebody has a balcony, it's something that I've been hearing. If somebody has a balcony stateroom, essentially what's happening is, and this isn't every ship, just to be clear, you have people that are getting taken to lower decks just because of how the filtration system, air filtration system works on board cruise ships. Basically, you have like each deck is filtering the air from the same deck. So the idea is to take people and put them all the people that are being isolated into just on one deck. And you have a lot of people, yeah, somebody said COVID jail. Yep, I mean, it's a lot of people might seem that way. It makes sense, right? I'm not knocking somebody. If you see it that way, I mean, I've heard different things of what's going on board ships. And it was somebody that made a comment the other day when I talked about this. Somebody was saying that the lower decks are not any worse than the balcony decks and stuff. Like, you guys got to understand, especially I was talking in reference to just the crew as well, not just the passengers, but the crew as well. People don't understand like deck 0, 1, and 2. They don't know what's on those decks. There's nothing down there. It might as well be a prison. I'll put it that way. To see, does your booze pass work in COVID jail? That's a good question. I don't know. I've heard the room service is not good. I've heard the room service is horrible. Are they letting any passengers sail that aren't vaxxed? I mean, I know cruise lines are obviously doing things differently. There is, of course, the religious reason. Some people can't get vaxxed because of medical purposes, so maybe they're settling with the PCR test. But I don't, honestly, when it looks at how things are going, there are people that are still testing that are positive, that are vaccinated. You guys got to take that stuff into consideration, considering everything that's going on right now. Let's see, we've booked 4 cruises this year. We are concerned that this pandemic is going to cancel these 2. We are cautious, have been fully vaxxed and boosted. What's your take on the future of this coming year? My stance is the same, guys. I think that there is going to be a partial shutdown in the sense that maybe there's a couple ways that this could happen. You could see ports of call like we've already seen, more ports of call, because especially in the Caribbean, if you start seeing 1 or 2 or 3 ports like we've been seeing that are not allowing cruise ships to go dock over there, you can bet that potentially the other ports are going to follow suit. If the Bahamas doesn't allow cruise ships over there, theoretically, then I would not be surprised if Barbados did the same thing a day later, 2 days later, a week later. So let's see. This thing keeps skipping all these people. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to get to everybody. And by the way, if you guys have a question, please just type in bold letters, all caps, question. It'll help me identify it better, and that way I can read it. Doesn't that policy put people at great risk? Let me see. Especially if it's a false positive. Now, that's something that's also, I believe, is a very big discussion to talk about, the false positives. So here's the thing, guys. I have, and I won't mention his name, obviously, but there is somebody I've been in constant contact with every day that is a COVID tester on board a Royal Caribbean ship. All right. And the stuff that he's been telling me, just as far as how disorganized, because he's quitting. He's telling me how disorganized some things are, which is to be expected during these crazy times with the pandemic. But he's been literally just sending me pictures and showing me a lot of the things and telling me about a lot of the things like over the phone that have been going on this ship. And I'm not going to name the ship, but it's a smaller Royal Caribbean ship, and it's insane. It really is. You know, and his whole idea was, or his question was, why aren't the cruise lines doing what they need to do to be prepared as well? Now, I'm not saying that Royal Caribbean or any cruise line out there is not prepared, but when it comes to situations like this, there is always going to be the idea that more could have been done, and especially when it's dumb things like maybe lack of PPE, mask and stuff like that, lack of testing, or the way that they're doing the testing as well. So that's something that needs to be looked at. But what if you have a balcony cabin because you have claustrophobia issues? That's a good question. I'm sure that's definitely been a topic of concern. I'm sure that's probably been a thing, but they have their quarantine deck, which is for some ships, non-balcony areas. I could see how that could be a problem. If I was in the Haven suite, like I usually book, and got put into the bowels of the ship, I'd be pissed. Yeah, I would be too. That's why people got to understand what they could potentially be getting themselves into. Like personally, I take a cruise right now, but you got some people that wouldn't be down for it. That's something that a lot of people have taken into consideration if they're going to cruise in the not so distant future. See what the possibilities are, what the risks are, see what the cruise lines are willing to do in the event that they need to compensate you because you maybe test positive or whatever the case is, and they got to put you somewhere. So let's see, Paul, if the cruise lines require people to be vaccinated, how are the unvaccinated causing the problems? I don't want to get into that, but yeah, I mean, there are some questions out there. Do they test throughout the cruise? So at this point in time, no, I don't know if there's any, there might be a couple that are testing mid-cruise. I know that's been a thing in the event that there's been a case or two, but I think as a whole, up until this point, they're changing things around now. I don't think there has been a situation where cruise lines are testing throughout the entirety of the cruise unless somebody is showing symptoms of COVID. See, Chris Nicholas, man, I appreciate you. By the way, thanks for joining the Ship Life crew. Question, Jay, good evening from the UK. I've been double jabbed and I've got the booster. Got the booster soon. But people are coming with me not jab. How does this treat me? I think if you're gonna be with them and sharing the room, it's gonna be a situation where you're probably gonna be, if in the event that something does happen, you'll be treated just how they are. I couldn't see it any other way. Scott, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, if you guys are talking about people who are tested frequently, the crew are tested frequently. Now, the test, on the other hand, I've heard so much stuff when it comes to the test. Like, so the thing is, because of the high rates of COVID that's now on ships and everywhere, let's keep that in mind. This is happening everywhere. The cruise lines, like your Royal Caribbean, your NCL, your Carnival, they do have to compensate by having different areas, random spots like a cabin for COVID testing. They're doing all this stuff. But you have these systems where a lot of, at least this is what a COVID tester was telling me that I've been communicating with for the past week. They were saying that essentially what happens is whenever they do the COVID test, they don't have a lab like on the ship, like not like a full-fledged lab built on the ship where they can find out right then and there. In some instances, and this may have, or either has getting changed now or is going to get changed, they would essentially put the samples of the cotton swabs in a refrigerator, and they would ship it out to an offshore lab or onshore lab, however you want to look at it, but a lab that isn't on the ship. And you're talking about days, and it could be in different types of temperatures. So a lot of people are worried about the cross-contamination where somebody may not be positive and you got a false positive. And I think all that stuff does need to be looked at, especially when you're talking about somebody maybe being quarantined and isolated throughout the entirety of a cruise. Let's see, no fresh air. Yeah, if you end up in those rooms, yeah, for sure. Let's see, question, did anybody see the cruise ship come back to Port of Miami on Christmas Day for a couple hours? Pretty sure it was unscheduled. Yeah, who knows? Maybe they could have been dropping somebody off. You know what? If you know what ship it was, let me know. You are now taking a chance with cruising. If you want to cruise, go ahead, but you are just taking a chance of getting caught on that ship. Might one missing ports, getting the virus. It is what it is. I mean, I think that's everywhere now. There is, of course, the added risk of being stuck in like the middle of the ocean and having to maybe lose a little bit of money when you maybe paid for a balcony stateroom and now you're being transferred to X, Y, and Z downstairs. I do think that is a risk that people need to take into consideration. But that's what I'm saying. If you're going on a cruise and you're worried about something like that happening potentially, maybe talk to the cruise lines, talk to who you can, and see what is going to happen in the event that something like that does happen. How are you going to be compensated should you have to be isolated because you've tested positive and you may or may not have symptoms? I think that's a valid question. If you are fully vaccinated and want to double check, but Carnival says a rapid test is okay 48 hours before the cruise, right? Yeah, I mean, but that's so weird that they're allowing the test to be done 2 days prior, because I mean, yeah, even if they do it like right offhand, there's still the incubation period that has to be taken into consideration. Now let me see, I missed a super chat. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see. MGM Family Travel, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Paul Romero, $10. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Seriously, I appreciate that. They said, MGM, happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. I hope you're having fun, being safe out there, and spend time with your family and friends and your loved ones. See, the cruise lines are doing everything they can to do. It's the unvaccinated that are causing the problems. I mean, you got to look at, if you look at the actual numbers, you can even go look on like the CDC website and look at everything going on, and you think about cruising. These are fully backed ships, so it's hard to make that argument. It really is. Now, I'm not trying to get political or way on one side or the other, but looking at it as a whole, these ships that all this stuff is happening on, guys, are fully vaccinated cruises. And in the event that maybe these ships are probably like 95 at the very least, as far as being unvaccinated. You got some people that maybe can't because they have other conditions that don't allow them to get vaccinated, stuff of that nature. But the ships are primarily fully vaxxed. So that's to me, that's a hard argument. Hard argument for sure. What more can they do? That is a big question. I mean, there's always the theories and stuff that can come up, and what more can the cruise lines do? It's hard because it's one of those situations, and somebody said in a comment in my video that I did today, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't with cruising, right? Look at the situation that I brought up today in my video, if you guys saw it. Basically, it's a situation where you have Odyssey of the Seas. You have people that tested positive that are being let off the ship, and they are just told, you know, from a moral standpoint, just go home and isolate. That way you don't infect anybody else. But there's also going to be the argument that, okay, well, technically all this stuff happened on the ship, so they should be the cruise line's responsibility, and they should be put in hotels. And, you know, it's a hard situation to try to wrap your hands around, your head around, because just trying to figure out what the cruise line should do that should be right, you're never going to get it perfect. Virgin had a pretty decent testing process. Yes, they do. I can attest to that. I agree. I would 100% agree. Virgin had a good formula over there. They did. I like what they did. It was a very smooth process as well. Question J, good evening from the UK. Oh, wait, I already read that one. Let me go back down. Sorry, guys. We are on NCL Joy beginning of the month. Their testing process, vaccination requirements, and lower capacity seems to be a great current procedure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to do their own thing. If that works for NCL, then by all means, maybe the other cruise lines should adopt it. Are they using contact tracing still? I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I know that that's been the process, and that's why we've come up with so many cases as well, and a lot of other people being isolated. On Oceania World Cruise, oh, wow, Marty, you got the big money. On Oceania World Cruises, the port request test for most of the destinations, such as Hawaiian Islands, and then again for the French Polynesia. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of places that are requesting tests in order to even get off now. I think the first time we saw that was, where was that? It was the Carnival Panorama that ended up not letting passengers off in, what was that, Cabo? Let's see, I am leaving on Sunday on the Mardi Gras. Love that ship. One thing that is odd to me is that everyone 2 and above has to present a negative COVID test. So how is the COVID-19 getting on? Is it the children or the crew? I mean, I would say, and I hate to blame the children, but I mean, that is a possibility. But it could be, you guys gotta remember, of course, the period in the point to where you could be showing symptoms or maybe you could test positive is like 2 weeks. So somebody could be positive, don't know they're positive, and you know, while they're on that cruise, that's when they're starting to have it show up on the test. So you never know, or then maybe they're starting to show symptoms. So, yes, thank you, Scott. Yeah, we got 265 people here, guys. Hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Question, what they also include having booster shot along with being vaccinated. What are your thoughts on this? And do you think they will start to enforce this as we go off? this also to go on a cruise? I think they will. I think it's kind of inevitable at this point. Personally, I do believe like you still have to look at like the data, right? And I'm not saying, oh, do your own research. People hate people hate to hear that kind of stuff. But I do believe at the end of the day, like it's like if somebody wants to buy a house, you're gonna probably just not blindly trust the realtor that's handling your situation, whether you're an escrow or whatever process that you're in with the home ownership, right, or purchasing of the house. You're taking a cruise that's worth, let's say, $10,000, right? You're probably going to look at all the details and you're going to come up with your own idea of what you think should happen and how you're going to handle things should X, Y, and Z happen. And then, of course, you talk to the cruise lines and you go about it. So you got to take all that into consideration. But as far as being boosted, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, just because of how things are, I'm not in a rush. I probably will have to get it at some point, which sucks. Because as far as I'm concerned, my stance on the whole vaccine situation, I don't believe people should be forced into it. By that, I mean losing their job potentially or their way of living. And that's how it would be for me. Because in a sense, even though I just do news, I still need to cruise just to kind of validate what I do, to go on ships and, of course, just keep the channel running. So let's see. Go back down. I know you can still catch COVID with the vac, but if everyone has to be negative on board, where do you think it comes from? That's a question of the day. That's the $1 million question right now. Where is it coming from? I do believe it. Like I said, it is that whole incubation period. I think that could be a very real possibility. And then you have, of course, the Omicron variant. It's more transmissible, but a lot of people are asymptomatic, showing mild symptoms. So it could be spreading that way too, and a lot of people just don't know it. Virgin's DJ, Virgin's DJ is still garbage. How did you go from reggaeton mixing to bubblegum country music? People thought I was lying about that. Yeah, so who's here? Oh, Lucy. Guys, we got Lucy cruising as crew. If you have not subscribed to her channel, please make sure you do. Lucy, I hope you're doing well, and I'm glad to see you're home with your family. I hope you're having a good time. And I hope that adjustment period isn't bothering you too much. Guys, whenever you finish a contract, it is like the best and worst of times. You get to go meet up with your friends and family you haven't seen in like 6 months. But the caveat to that is that you got to kind of restart your life all over again. It's a hassle. It really is. Carnival Panorama denied docking in Puerto Vallarta today. Oh, wow. Yeah, Mexico is, that's the second time. So first Cabo and then Puerto Vallarta, they denied, what was it, the Collins Dam. So we're seeing it. My wife just got back from Royal Explorer of the Seas, and I think she said it was good. Some ports refused entry, but they had a couple stops. Okay, well, at least they got to some of them. How many vaccines do we need to take? Come on, I agree. Look, my whole stance on all of this, guys, and I'm not trying to get political or whatever, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving anybody medical advice, but you look at the vaccine situation, you do gotta wonder, where is this going? Right? Is it going to be jab 5, 6, 7, 8? How are we going to get to the point to where everybody's going to be okay with everything that's going on? Because I've said it before, and it's not a political statement. You are not going to get everybody in the world. And I want everybody to hear this, right? I say this all the time. There is no way you're going to get everybody in the world to just decide to get vaccinated, all right? And that's just, again, not a political stance, and that doesn't mean people are anti-vax. Some people just are hesitant. Some people have some legitimate questions, Some people just have mistrust in everything that's going on, especially considering some people have been partying and with tons and tons of people, thousands of people every weekend, and they haven't had problems. It's hard to convince them that this is what they need to do. That's just the reality of the situation. So don't shoot the messenger. That's just what I've noticed, especially living someplace like Florida and also traveling all over the place. So just, you guys take it how you want, but to me, that's just what I've seen. Question, hey Jay, what's up, bro? Have you heard anything about Disney cruises and having any cases? Well, Disney, the mouse is kind of hush-hush. I've heard some things through the grapevine, but I can't confirm anything. I would imagine if all the other lines are having situations, you can bet the other lines are probably having situations as well, but they're kind of hiding under the radar since you have, of course, your Royal Caribbean, your Carnival, your MSC, and of course now you have, what is it, I had a brain fart. But anyway, you got like all the main lines right now that are kind of in the limelight. So now the cruise lines that haven't gotten like the big backlash from the hysteria from the media, they're kind of just like sitting back and they're not saying much because they don't want to deal with that either, which understandable. But there is going to be the argument of maybe they should be public about what's going on. I think the cruise lines, Patty, I think the cruise lines are doing everything they can, but nothing will be perfect. I agree. I don't blame them, but I'm fully vaccinated. Will not cruise right now because of all the craziness. I agree. Like I said, I truly believe that if you guys have like, let's say concern in your heart and in your mind about cruising, you shouldn't cruise. Should not cruise. I'm a big advocate for travel and cruising. You guys know that. But if you feel like your cruise experience is not going to be what you are paying for, by all means, don't go. And I don't think anybody's wrong for that. That's not somebody being against the cruise ship industry. That's not somebody being negative. It's the fact of the matter. Personally, if I'm going to go spend 3,000, 5,000, what have you, on a cruise, I expect to get what I want. And I know that's first world speech right there, but this is the reality that we live in, guys. If you're going to pay for a vacation, you're probably going to want what you want out of that vacation, and nobody's going to tell you otherwise. You see, my wife just got back from, oh, I already read that one. Keith Markle, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. He said, keep it up. Oh, I will. I like the little workout guy. Look, I need to go to the gym after this. I'm getting kind of small. I totally agree with your stance. I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's like, you guys know that I try to walk a fine line, but I do have my stance, because I do believe that if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. I know it's a cliche thing to say, but it's a very real statement that a lot of people just, they feel like if you're not with this situation, then you're wrong. And I believe that everybody, we're all our own people. We're all going to have our own views and opinions based off of our personal experiences of what we've been dealing with in life, and of course with the pandemic. Let's see, can you please say hi, Claire and Lauren? Thank you. Is that for me? Oh, well, yeah. Hi, Claire. Hi, Lauren. You have a Lauren too? There's so many Laurens out here. Chris James, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. They said good luck. Good luck with what? Is somebody trying to beat me up or something? I could fight now. All right, we got Nana's Blings and Things with a Z. I love it. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Wow. Thank you for answering my question. No problem, no problem. Yeah, guys, if you have questions, just put it in all caps. I'll do my best to get to it as soon as possible. I love cruise ships, and I finally did a video for Symphony of the Seas. That is great. Keep it going. Start a YouTube channel. Let's see, question, if I had to put a percentage on it, how likely is it the cruise ship industry to be shut down again? If likely, how soon? Yeah, this is a big topic, of course, and it's something that we cannot shy away from. The possibility of the cruise ship industry as a whole being shut down, I think is little to none. I do believe it's very likely, and we're kind of starting to see it now. You're seeing it literally manifest right now. The cruise ship industry is in for somewhat of a partial shutdown in the event that this whole Omicron situation continues to spike up or stays where it is. Partial shutdown, meaning either it's going to be by way of cruise ports not allowing cruise ships to go into the port, or it's going to be a situation where potentially there's so much of a shortage with staff, because if you guys have been on ships, maybe you don't see it as a passenger, but a lot of cruise lines right now have a lot of shortages. You got crew members that are testing positive left and right. You got crew members that are being dumped off into hotels for the next 14 days, and it could be longer. You got crew members that are being stuck on, put on other ships to be quarantined. So as you could imagine, they're going to be a little bit short-staffed. Oh, hey, Lucy replied, Justin, you're the best. No, you're the best. She said, I'm adjusted. Okay, well, I don't know. Give it a couple weeks and come back and talk to me. There's always that. It is literally a roller coaster when you get back home. Let's be real. You know that. You've been around here before. There was an Australian lab that sent out 400 incorrect negative COVID test results. Human error, I think it was. Yeah, well, that is an element that you got to take into consideration. There's always going to be those questions of how accurate is everything that's going on. And I'm not saying like all this stuff is false. I'm just saying there's the reality. I had a false positive, and I almost got denied my flight to go to Europe because of it. So I've been there. Since cruise guest count is down, are the employees being eliminated also? No, they're not being eliminated. The situation is because the guest count is down as well, and it's been that way because cruise lines have been sailing with limited occupancy. You also have a situation now where crew are also testing positive, and then you also got to take into consideration that the flow of contracts. It's been about 6 months since the industry started back up. So around this time, between now and the next 3 months, you're going to see a lot of crew that are finishing their contracts and are supposed to go home. So in this whole flux of crew members trading in and out, you're going to see a situation where with the travel restrictions and the trainings and everything, there's going to be potentially a shortage of that as well. Like I was talking to somebody today, they were supposed to go to the NCL facility, NCL Creative facility here in Tampa to rehearse. But now because somebody has backed out, I don't know the situation, maybe they quit, maybe they got sick, maybe they had a family emergency, but they have to leave and that other person has to leave from Australia immediately to go over to the ship and join in. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of different elements that are going to be taking place as far as the shortage of crew versus the passengers that are on board. A doctor friend of mine said that these COVID test checks for protein and viruses, so your tests come back positive. It could be a different virus that is making the results results positive, so you can confirm. Yeah, the thing is, like again, I try to look at everything as a whole, right? It's that time of year. People get sick. People, and I say this all the time because I had a little bit of the sniffles like a week ago, and then now I feel fine, right? People are like, oh, maybe it's COVID, maybe it's COVID. Look, people still get regular sick around here, right? The flu's still around, the cold, and I'm not trying to compare and saying that the COVID is the flu because I know that's something that everybody's talking about. I'm saying in the sense that people can still get regular sick. And you see a lot of people that maybe haven't even gotten tested that are shouting, I have COVID, I have COVID, and I think that's something that people really need to take into consideration. Let's see. I had the first wave in the Delta. I'm not afraid of Omicron. My immune system is top notch. I like it, and I won't get the vaccine, so I missed out on the cruise this time. Well, hopefully things will alleviate between now and in the end of 2022. We'll see. When they cancel your port stop, should they refund the port charges? Now, technically, they don't have to. They're not obligated to give you anything. In the event that you miss a port, and I said this in my video today, whenever you book a cruise, you essentially sign when you sign the waivers and all the other stuff, and when you book, you are basically stating to the cruise line that they are not liable in the event that they miss a port, and it is not the cruise line's fault. If it's an act of God, be it a storm, or let's say in this situation, an outbreak, an emergency situation, they don't have to give you anything. But since it is business, right, it wouldn't be and their best financial interest is to tell you guys, well, we're missing this port. There's nothing we can do about it. Go on about your merry way and go home. If they were to do that, they would potentially lose clientele. So it is in their best interest for them to say, well, look, sorry we missed this port. We'll give you $100, $200, 50% cruise credit, or whatever the case is. So this is never going to go away. We'll need a booster or wherever we go from now on. It's the way it's going to be. I hope not. I would like to get back to some idea of normal. And we stop saying this is the new normal. I hate that phrase. I really do. Hold on, let me get caught back up with the question. Sorry guys, trying to find my way here. Yes, thank you, Scott. Guys, hit that like button if you're just joining. We got 335 people in here. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate all of you guys. Let's see, thanks for your level-headed discussion about cruising. We are vaccinated and boosted and we can cruise as well. We feel comfortable with doing our daily normal life. I agree. Like I said, everybody's going to have their own, of course, their own opinions on what they consider to be normal and what they consider to be safe. And I don't fault people for that, and I never will. I'm not that kind of guy. I've seen enough, especially during this pandemic. I'm Canadian, and we had to cancel because our son tested positive on a rapid test. Has to do a PCR test. It sucks. Oh, wow. Well, hopefully you do a PCR test. I'm guessing if the PCR test comes back positive, yes, do what you need to do, quarantine and isolate and make sure he is safe and he's not showing any symptoms. Why is that you can go maskless on the Lido for sail-away deck parties and no mask once seated and crowded in dining rooms, but mask required everywhere else? Those are good questions. Very good questions. I've always been confused by that. Now, outside, if you do the comparison from outside to inside, you can make an argument, right? It's like, okay, I get it. You're outside. There's fresh air. But inside, yeah, it's the sitting down situation. Even here on land, I've always been curious about the sit down situation that goes on with all of this. Apparently, it doesn't attack if you're sitting down. If you're below a height requirement, I don't know. Do you think that cruising will be shut down again? I do not. Partial shutdown, possibly, more than likely. 2 Disney ships are green. 2 are yellow. You won't see it on ABC, but they are owned by Disney. Yeah, we won't hear much from Disney. You guys know the mouse is very hush hush. You don't see stuff every now and like too often. Question: what are the spas and things like that with the mask? You mean what are they doing? I know some spas or some ships are shut down. If anything, they've shut down certain services like a massage and stuff, and they'll keep like the spa room open and the what is it called? The massage rooms and the ice rooms. I think all that stuff is still open, but as far as the physical massages, I don't think they're doing that right now. If somebody knows otherwise, let me know. I just haven't gotten a massage this year. Let's see. It is what it is. If you don't like it, don't cruise. Yeah, complaining won't change. Expecting normal cruising right now is ridiculous expectation. I agree, 100%. Let's go travel tips. We are already cruised a Majestic Princess to Alaska and Mexican Riviera since the restart, and planning to go on the Caribbean Princess, Western Caribbean in 3 weeks, and we are ready to go. Well, I hope you enjoy. It sounds like fun. I want to go to Alaska. I need to make a trip for that next year too. Question: going on Carnival Liberty on New Year's Eve. Is Chef's Table worth it? I have not done the Chef's Table, but I've heard great things. So maybe it is. Maybe somebody here can answer that. If anybody's taken, I'm sure somebody has. The Chef's Table, is it worth it? And see, I'm going on a cruise, research and understand the restrictions and the possible restrictions. If you don't like the rules, don't go. If you accept the rules and possibilities, don't complain. I agree. I 100% agree. Joe, not. You are right. But that's the thing. It's like people have gotten so confused. And the minute they hear doing your own research, and I'm not talking about just COVID, but just with everything. If you're going to go on a cruise, especially right now during these weird times, not saying it's the cruise line's fault, but they have to put a bunch of new rules and restrictions in place. Try to read as much as you can. I've enjoyed your vids. Wife and I are going on our first cruise on January 2nd, MSC Meraviglia. I had some trouble with that ship. Now, beautiful ship, so I hope you have a better experience than I did. Already cringing at how much this is going to suck, as this is our first cruise, thanks to COVID resurgence. Well, I hope you make the best of it. Like I said, it's a beautiful ship, and I know things have probably changed since I went on that ship, so who knows, you might like it. Let's see, Cindy, what is that, Rummin app? I like the name. Anyway, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. It said, hiya. Hey. Let's see. I start my first contract on January 15th. Crew member. Already have my flights. Hope everything goes well, especially the 2 PCR tests I need before flying. I hope so. That's always like it's a stressful moment. Trust me. I've been there plenty of times this year. I hope everything works out for you. My flight, actually, by the way, too, for the person that just said they're going to be a crew member, what are going to be the quarantine policies for you? Do you have to quarantine at a hotel when you arrive? Do you have to quarantine for 2 weeks when you get to the ship? Let me know. I'm curious, because I know every cruise line is doing it a little bit different. Let's see, I keep losing my place here. I apologize, guys. Let's see, I think once we get to Roatan, DC, this will all smooth out. Maybe that's not for me. Try to look at the positive side of going on a cruise for the very first time. Oh, yeah, for the other people taking their first cruise. Yeah, enjoy it. I'm sure you'll still have fun. Get over the jab and testing and all will be good. Well, I hope so. I want things to be good now. We were on the Jewel, returned on the 18th, and could tell the crew was not at full staffing level. Service was still great, but it was a little slower. People need to accept that. I agree. You know, I made a video talking about the crew, how crew were quitting as well. And you know, the thing is, I saw some comments, people saying that's not true, and I couldn't possibly know that. But guys, if you look at the overall environment and what a lot of the crew are facing right now, it's not a far-fetched thing to say. There are crew that are quitting right now because of the conditions on board. It's a very real thing. Question, going to be on NCL Bliss. I got a friend on that ship, it's the dancer. January 9th, 2022. They have the mask policy now. How does that affect the spa and things? Did I already read that one? It's hard to say. If anybody's been on inside of an NCL spa during the pandemic, please let me know, because NCL is one of the lines I did not sell this year. Bobby Hunt, if you like the stream, hit that like button. It's how the stream goes. I like that. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. Smash it, roll over it, sail over it, do what you got to do, but hit the like button. Jay, question, should cruising be put on hold for a month or so? Any comment? Thank you, regards, Duncan Rogers. Like I said at the beginning, for those that didn't hear me, when it comes to a cruise pause, I do think it's a hard thing to just take into consideration. I mean, you're talking about maybe an entire cruise line or the entire industry taking like a month pause, because the minute that happens, all the health organizations and everybody else is going to run all over it and then look at it as a reason like, oh, well, if the cruise lines are pausing for a month, they might as well go ahead and pause for a year, you know? Like, I get it. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but then again, I could not be exaggerating. I do believe if the cruise lines were to voluntarily shut down for a certain amount of time, then the media would run wild with it, and the CDC, everybody else would find every reason to possibly say, well, if you're going to do a month, we might as well wait until this pandemic is over, or wait until the Omicron subsides or whatever. They're going to find a way to maybe push it back a little bit. The goalpost will continue to be pushed back, just like we saw during the start of this, right? In March, we thought it was going to be a month, something like that. And then we kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So, you know, if you think about it, maybe not the best idea. Do you have any info on Alaska cruises for 2022? I don't. I hope they don't get shut down. I hope they don't. I want to go on an Alaskan cruise. I do think it is likely, though, that they'll have Alaska cruises. I mean, they had it this time around, so why not? With all the mandates achieved, nothing, only heartache. I agree. I'm not saying they're not doing anything, but I do believe other options still, like, every option should be looked at. Because the fact that I see so many people losing jobs and stuff, and I've been talking about this since last year, the people that are going mentally insane during all this, you got to understand, today, and I'll be talking about this tomorrow because it's gotten crazier. You have, for example, you guys know Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas. So, like I said, I'll give you guys more details on this tomorrow. But there is Odyssey of the Seas. Basically, what they did was transfer all of their COVID positive people onto Vision of the Seas, because Vision of the Seas is not operating right now. Now, it's an old ship. There's dust and dirt all over the place, but you have crew members that are being transferred there. They're being told a week, but however, it'll probably be longer than that. But now, even today, or yesterday, as Odyssey of the Seas left out for its next sailing, when it got to Coco Cay, it dropped more people off. And there are more ships within the Royal Caribbean's fleet that will be taking more crew members over there. You know what I mean? So, like, for them to say that it's going to be a week, yeah, we've heard that before. We've heard these dates be announced, and yeah, it's a miss. Do you know any info about river cruises for the summer on the Rhine? I do not. I don't know. I haven't had the taste for river cruises yet. I'm still a baby in the game. I haven't jumped on the river yet. I will at some point though. Let's see. I hate that this thing keeps like skipping all the good stuff. Trina Koss, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Why not go all private islands until the surge passes? Well, because I'm not gonna lie to you, some of the private islands are pretty boring. First of all, and a lot of people book these sailings because they want to go to those ports of call. So to make that kind of change, at that point, especially before the cruise even starts, in order to avoid a mass cancellation, they would have to try to find some way to accommodate. And a lot of people just aren't going to be happy if they were just going to say, all right, well, we're going to do 2 days at Perfect Day. And every single ship can't go to the private island. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about how many ships, Carnival, Royal, each of them have sailing in the Caribbean, you can't have every ship over there. You can't have 5 ships over there a day. It's not possible. Let's see, I love your advice. If you're having doubts, don't go. I work for NCL and entertainment, and I'm itching to get back on board, but my doubts are absolutely stopping me from signing a contract. Well, I mean, I know at NCL in particular, you are kind of like playing shot in the dark as far as what you can and can't do on the ship. I have people on the Bliss, for example, that are living their best life and are enjoying the ports of call. Then I have people that are on other ships, like the Breakaway, can't get off. You know what I mean? So it just depends what show you're going to be in and where you're going to be. Cruise with Confidence program, is it really easy to cancel and get a future cruise credit? I haven't had to deal with it. I heard it is. Maybe somebody in here can answer that question. Somebody's asking about the Cruise with Confidence program. That's with Royal Caribbean, right? I'm assuming. Cruise with Confidence. If anybody has indulged in Cruise with Confidence, was it simple and convenient? Somebody let me know in the thread. I'd appreciate it. Going on a cruise for cruise 10 nights, 5 days at sea, and for... Let's see, hold on guys, give me a second. I got logged out of my my live stream. Oh, we still got connection, right? Yeah? Okay, cool. Give me a second, guys. I gotta get caught back up. Hold on. Let's go up the stream a little bit. Okay, somebody said, great job, Jay. No, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. Let's see, question. I'm sorry if you're repeating yourself. I may have missed it, but what are your travel plans for the upcoming year? I have to get my book again. But pretty much my aim is to go on most of the newer ships that aren't like a Celebrity. I don't plan on going on Celebrity Beyond, but I'm going on the Margaritaville at Sea. I'll be on the Carnival Celebration. I'll be like, all these are going to be the inaugural sailings, what I'm aiming for. Wonder of the Seas, I want to be on there. Of course, the Virgin ships, the Resilient Lady, Valiant Lady. I plan on being on those. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on the inaugural sailings for both of those, but we'll see. What other ship? I feel like I'm missing one. We got Mardi Gras. NCL Prima, I want to jump on that as well. And see, any unhappy crew just can be good for guests. It's just not good with all the difficulties and hurdles. Yeah, and you guys know I'm a former crew member, so I know what it's like. Some people, the people will make the argument that, oh, well, the crew, they don't have to be there and stuff. For some crew members, especially guys, you see most of the crew members are from like developing countries where they're probably going to make the best money they're ever going to make working on the ship. They can't just up and leave and say, oh, I'm going to jump and hop over to go be a lawyer or something. They can't do it. So it's kind of like, it's a weird situation. And yes, you can make the argument that they're there to work, but you also got to understand that nobody in the world can just work and work and work and work. Unless there's passion involved with all of this, but nobody can just sit there and work and not have some type of life outside of their work, especially on a ship. You get cabin fever and it never works out. Let's see, question, did you hear anything new about Carnival? I heard they stopped the onboarding for crew. Yeah, I talked about that, I think like 2 days ago. Temporary pause, let's say. Hope it won't be prolonged a few months more. Yeah, so they are pausing for the entire month of January, in case you guys weren't aware. All the crew that are signing on, meaning the people that are starting their contracts and the people that are ending their contracts, there's been a pause. So technically right now, very few crew members are going to be leaving the Carnival ships and very few are going to be coming on. There's going to be a pause in the event that maybe the possibility they could spread COVID by sending these people home or bringing more people onto the ship, whether they're quarantining or not. Traveling from Canada to Florida right now in February. I have Disney booked for 5 days, then a cruise. Nice. I'm thinking I should cancel Disney and just go for the cruise. Your thoughts? I think you'll be fine, to be honest. I mean, I would say get tested, of course. Be cautious. But I mean, those are big plans to cancel. I mean, I would say that's completely up to you. Those are huge plans to cancel. My mom just got hospitalized from Rona. She has pneumonia. My entire family has it. Wow, I can't talk right now. Sorry. Please pray. I will. I hope everything works out, and I hope that they are back to normal. I really do, because you know, I've seen people that have had pneumonia, and I heard it's not a fun thing to deal with. You couple that up with COVID, and yeah, it's a recipe for just not a good experience. So hopefully they get better soon, and I will pray for them. Carnival was understaffed last week. Definitely had slower than normal service, but took care of us great like always. Good. I mean, you know, the thing is, and it's something that I've noticed even being on ships this year, you know, there are always going to be those passengers out there that expect the top tier because they're paying, and they're not going to be so understanding of the fact that maybe there's a shortage in staff and there's new rules and protocols that may slow the service that they're used to seeing on board cruise ships. If you guys are going on a cruise, just expect things to not be as fast as they normally are. Question, I am noticing it's a missed message regarding a negative test, PCR test prior to embarkation. Some say have a test no more than 2 days. Others say that the test at embarkation. Which is it? Every cruise line is doing things differently. Like for example, when I went with Virgin, it's my fault. I didn't read all the fine print because things were changing so much. But when I went on the inaugural sailing for Virgin, or the U.S. inaugural sailing, I went and got tests done 48 hours prior anyway. However, they had a testing facility at the terminal, which made it a very smooth process. So every cruise line is doing it differently. I would just say if you're going to cruise and you got one coming up, look at their most recent protocols as far as how they're doing things. And just remember, things could change literally just like that on a dime. That's a horrible snap. There we go. I like cruise ships that wouldn't work and would cause massive economic problems. Oh, okay, that wasn't for me. We need to be compassionate with the staff on land, restaurants, as well as cruise. It sucks all over. I agree. I see it all the time, especially living in like a tourist state like I live in Florida. The stuff I see like daily, it's insane. Some people have no compassion whatsoever. The people want what they want, I guess. Question, cruising will ever go back to 100% full capacity? I hope so. I hope so. Let's see, somebody said, I like cruise ships. Vision of the Seas does not have dust and dirt all over the place. Why I say that? Oh, well, pay attention to my video tomorrow. I'll explain why. I will show you why. I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying it to jab at Vision of the Seas. I'm saying it because this is a fact. Now, anyway, I think they might shut down again. It may never come back. I don't think that's, no, definitely not. Thank you, Chad. Yes, private islands suck. Just a sea day with sand. Yeah, I would say unless you're like maybe younger, or maybe you actually enjoy everything that Perfect Day at Coco Cay has to offer, a lot of these private islands, they ain't so good. They're not really that good. I don't mind if a private island is not bad if you just want to do the typical things. You don't want to see much. You just want to maybe get a tan, or you want to go jet skiing or something like that. Private island is not bad, but that doesn't fit everybody's needs as far as a cruise and wanting to get off. Let's see. I agree with you. Ports a call, make the cruise. I mean, everybody's gonna have their opinion on it for sure. Let's see. Somebody asked for my favorite. I gotta get back up here. I hate that I keep skipping. What's your favorite island to visit? I will always say Cozumel. Cozumel, Cozumel, Cozumel. Best bang for your buck, hands down. Question, will cruising ever go back to 100% capacity with no restrictions? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope so. I mean, I'm not doubting it. I mean, at some point, I guess the world is going to go back to normal, right? Or maybe this is like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Chris knows that's $1 million question. Yeah, agreed. We used to cruise with confidence. We got a refund instead of credit, and it was super easy with Royal Caribbean. Oh, good. Good to know. Big Wilk 52. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Do miss working on a cruise ship? Are you asking if I miss it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Simple life. A lot of parties, a lot of fun. Yeah, it was great. What's the best cruise medical travel for COVID on a cruise? You talking about insurance? I'm probably not the best one to let you know for the insurance company, to be honest with you. Somebody has a list of insurance companies. Please, yeah, put it in the chat so you can help everybody out. So yeah, a former crew member, former. I like cruise ships. What do you mean? Are you talking about me? I was entertainment. If that's what you're asking, what I was doing. Remember, the crew have days just like other people. Agreed. Yes. My boyfriend and I are trying to decide between Royal Caribbean cruise in April and trying to a trip to St. Augustine. What do you think about taking a risk on a cruise? I mean, personally, I'd cruise right now, but it does depend on the restrictions, and I'd be more so doing it for documenting and work purposes. Even though I love the water, so I'm a little biased. So I guess it just depends, really. St. Augustine's still cool. It's not something that I would go out of my way. I've been there a couple times, and it's cool to look at. But up to you. Are you planning to cruise on Princess? If so, which ship and the destination? I have no set plans to cruise with Princess as of yet. If I do, I'd probably do an Alaska sailing. Let's see, Kelly, is it Brockenton? I like it. Thank you for the $10 super chat. They said phone died. Why don't every company use their oldest ships and make it into a medic ship? That way employers can isolate easily and go back later. Peaceful transition. Well, I guess that's the idea of what Royal is doing right now with Vision of the Seas. I mean, that's my assumption. I guess, in a way that does make sense. But it's just, when you're talking about transferring people over, there's only certain places, first of all, that can be done because most cruise ports won't allow that. So there's always going to be a meetup point. Right now, it's Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So if the staff have COVID, do they get paid? To my knowledge, yes. Now, given there were situations during the pandemic that, unfortunately things didn't work out so well. There were a lot of people that were finished with contracts and stuff like that, and that caused a lot of problems. Just got off the Carnival Conquest this morning, and everyone's super good about masking up, taking protocol seriously. Good, because you get on a cruise, some people aren't going to be so good about that stuff. Not at all. Let's see, where am I at? Every time I scroll down on this thing, it just goes all the way to the bottom. So I apologize, guys. I got to play catch up. Let's see. Do you think there is a danger of cruising within my own country later in the year with less than 50 cases? No, I don't. I don't at all. I really don't. Let's see. I love the private island day. I'm talking about the idea of just going to private islands. It gives basic free access to the ship, no lines, open pools, etc. Yeah. I mean, there are pros and cons to private islands. I just don't think that should be the end all be all. Yes, private island is a no for me. Yeah, I was reading somebody else's comment. So let's see, a little apprehensive, but my wife and I leave for PR to sail on the NCL Epic this Sunday. Oh well, I hope you enjoy. I mean, I haven't been on the Epic, but I've heard great things. Glad I took the jab because my symptoms would have been way rougher, most likely. I mean, could have been. You could have been good. You never know. You never know. Let's see, I took the vaccine because I'm a cancer survivor and I want to be safe. Yeah, then I don't fault anybody for getting the vaccine. You guys know that's my stance on the whole thing. I think if you feel like you need the vaccine, you should get it. If you don't, hey, it's life. We're all humans. We all have our own choices to make at the end of the day. Let's see. Quick question. Why do most of all the crew members have fancy watches? Well, because usually, most of the cruise lines, they have either an Invicta store or some type of watch store, and that's usually the gift to get, either for yourself or for other people. I don't know, I got 2 watches as gifts when I was when I was working for NCL. Hey Jay, Bill from the UK here. We are booked on Wonder of the Seas transatlantic from Fort Lauderdale. Oh, that should be fun. To Barcelona in April. Do you think we will depart as scheduled with the new variant? I hope so. I mean, I'm trying to get on that ship when it gets here to the US, so. I hope so. I mean, but we'll see. There's a lot of travel restrictions right now, so maybe they might skip some places. Who knows at this point? Who knows? Time will tell, though. Lower services provided and increased risk of completing a cruise without problems is a no-go for me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, everybody's going to feel some kind of way, and I think everybody's entitled to how they feel about the situation, whether they should cruise or not. So also, we're looking at a drink packages tonight and bought both of us for a 5-day cruise, and it would be almost the same cost as the cruise itself. Is that normal? Seems crazy. Or are there deals usually? There usually are somewhat of deals, but they usually get cheaper when you are more expensive depending on when your cruise is and when your sailing is. But I always say you should always look at the fine print of the drink packages because sometimes they're just not worth it. You really got to look and see if you're actually going to drink that amount of alcohol. If you're paying, let's say by the time the cruise, you got a 5-day cruise and the cruise for you was $500, but you're paying $500 for the drink package. if you know in your mind you were really going to spend that much, and if you can't justify it, don't get it. But if you know you're going to drink that much, then by all means, do what you do. James Stewart, thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that. Hello, it's Jello from Loca Fam. Happy holidays. I appreciate that. Well, happy holidays to you. I hope you're enjoying your time. Maybe you're spending it with friends and family, drinking eggnog, stuff like that. And I hope you're enjoying your holiday season. See you in 2022. I'm excited. Let's see. Vaccine is just a passport. Well, you should see when you go over to like France, where I was. Adventure of the Seas in 2 days. Wish me luck. Oh, you don't need luck. Just enjoy yourself. I went on Liberty of the Seas and got off yesterday. Everyone complied with the mask mandate, and it was overall an amazing cruise despite the circumstances. Good. Good. I don't think it's going to be an issue on every cruise. I just understand the simple fact that there are going to be people, regardless of what's going on in the world, that are going to, do their own thing, that are maybe not necessarily going to follow the rules. It's inevitable. Can we hit 400? Yeah, I think we can hit 400 likes. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. Let's try to get to 400 likes before the end of the live stream, which is in about, we'll probably go like 10 more minutes, something like that. Let's see. You have the most recent stance with COVID and cruising. Thanks. Well, I appreciate that. Some people don't think so. I just try to look at everything. I mean, I've traveled during the pandemic, and yes, naturally, through my personal experience, I'm going to have a different opinion than everybody else. I'm not right, not wrong. Everybody just has their own, their own thing. Have you been to Alaska on a cruise? I've been to Alaska several times. Never on a cruise, though. Let me see. Why does it keep doing that? I keep skipping my stuff. I'm about to talk on my computer after this, messing up my live stream. Let's see, where was he on Alaska? That's what I really want to do. When is the best time to go? Whenever Alaska season ends, which is whenever it is, a very short season, by the way. I would just say, I mean, I don't know. If anybody's been on a cruise, I mean, Alaska is beautiful, by the way. I went, every time I've gone, it's been like March or April. So if anybody's been on Alaska at a different time, would you say like later on in the year, is that a good time to go? Summertime? When's the best time to go to Alaska? Let's see, we already read that one. I will be traveling next Sunday on Norwegian Epic from Puerto Rico. Has there been any updates from that ship? I have not heard anything on the Epic. No, I have not. Have an upcoming cruise on Harmony of the Seas next week. The cruise seems like it is going to be crowded. I am torn on whether to cancel. Like I said, personal choice. I mean, I think you'll have a good time, but who knows at this point with everything going on. Who said that? You are an asset to the cruise industry, a warehouse of information. Great job. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Thank you. I mean, I'm just a normal dude. I read a lot, and I travel a lot. So, and I worked on a cruise ship. So, and I talk to a lot of people, So, thank you for that. Also doing Margaritaville at Sea. Sadly, Buffet has a show that night on North Carolina. Buffet. Oh, okay. Well, either way, I'll be on Margaritaville as well. I can't wait for that. I will be on the first sailing for that one. I like that ship. And it should be fun, especially if there's people on there. Somebody said for a drink package, $900 for two people to drink for the drink package. Unless the drinks are $30, I can't see that making sense. I mean, regardless of how much the drinks are, I would never pay $900 for given, two people, because you got to buy both if you're sailing with somebody. I could never justify that personally, not me. NCL breakaway in 34 days, hoping this calms down a bit by then. I hope so too. I really do hope so. When do you think masks will no longer be required on cruises because the vaccine would be required? That's a good question. I mean, well, you guys see right now what we're dealing with. It's hard to tell. I can't even give you a clear answer on that one. Let's see what happens in about 3 months. What's the best food you had in Alaska? Alaskan king crab? Come on, what kind of question is that? There's a place I went to over in Anchorage. It's like I think it's like $50. You get unlimited Alaskan king crab, like a bucket of it, and unlimited beer. It was amazing. They probably upped the price since then, but it was godlike. I had so much fun. I love crab. We had a festival. Let's see. CDC just changed. Yeah, I saw that today. I know they were talking about it. CDC just changed their isolation requirements to 5 days for positive tests and no quarantine required for close contact. Hold on, it missed it. Where is it? Sorry, guys. For close contacts, if they have the booster, hopefully this helps cruise lines. I hope so. Bro, you're looking buff. You've been working out. I've been training, break dancing and stuff, having a good time. So that's it. A lot of training. I got competitions next month. Got to get ready for it. Then I got to go to Mexico for a competition in February before I jump on Wonder the next month. It's obvious what needs to be done to make life normalized. Let's just be honest. Just be honest with yourself. What do you mean? What do we need to do? I'm confused now. The ports for cruises are okay. Those are nice. Have you been to those ports? Are they good? I've not been to Haiti. No, I've been to Nassau. That's it. What's that? Levity? No, I've not been. Alaska was awesome last week. Yeah, guys keep rubbing it in. Okay, I want to go to Alaska too on a cruise one day. If you're going on Wonder of the Seas inaugural cruise, you better book it before they close it on March 4th. Oh, I will. No, I'm booking it. I'm booking it at the beginning of next month, so the beginning of the year. I'm looking. Maybe the prices will drop down a little bit. Cruising right now is awful. The restrictions are awful. If you're going to spend that kind of money, like I said, I do believe that's a personal preference, of course, but I do believe if people are going to spend thousands of dollars, it's their prerogative and their opinion on how they feel. If they feel like losing $3,000 and having to wear masks and stuff like that is not something that suits them, then they're right. I don't care what they say, what anybody says. If you feel you're right in that, then you are. Your money. Daniel Connor, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Seriously, thank you. Anthony Leons, thank you for the $5 super chat. Going on the NCL Joy January 22nd in the Haven Suite. Oh, you got big money. Let me get some of that. I'm just kidding. Haven Suite. Do you think these ships are filling close to capacity considering COVID? Just want to prepare myself. I believe, especially if you're going in January, you could see the capacity maybe either not be put down. But look at what Royal Caribbean's doing, for example. They've closed out their bookings for until January 15th, I believe it was. I can see NCL doing the same thing, like kind of low key. It may not be like a big announcement, but they might stop bookings. So it may not be at full capacity or at least near full capacity. So we'll see. The crab was amazing on Princess. Salmon bake was great. I love some salmon too. Question, how much would it be to cruise, let's say, for a year? Well, it depends on what you like. I was going to do a video on that, specifically targeting the man. There's a guy that lives on a cruise ship, and I wonder how he's doing during the pandemic. They say it is somewhat cheaper, but it depends on the line. Cheaper than staying in like a nursing home. I got to get the exact numbers. I don't want to just throw it out there. So, but I think I saw somewhere around the range, like $100 and something thousand for you to cruise all year. Let's see, Liberty's okay if you like private beaches. North Haiti is beautiful. I want to go. Haven't been there yet. You're so helpful. I've been binging your videos, and we have looked into cruises. New subscriber. I appreciate that, Chloe. Chloe Bankston. Well, welcome to the team. Appreciate you. I ain't gonna lie. I say some stuff from time to time. All right, that some people just don't agree with. All right, but it's just my opinion. All right, we got to stand for something around here. That's just the reality. I think the news is exploiting the cruise industry, and because of it's hot right now, they want the views. Yeah, of course. No place like has 95, 98% vaccinated protested guests. Yeah, agreed. Protected. Is that what you probably meant to say? But yeah, no, I agree. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here in like 5 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get through this. Maybe like 10 minutes. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit longer since we got so many people in the house today. As long as you guys hit that like button, we gotta get to 400 likes. We need 20 more likes, and we'll be good to go. Question, I bought the insurance. Carnival's giving out full refunds for January 8th on the Carnival Panorama cruise. We'll also get my insurance money back too. Did you book it through Carnival? That's a question probably for a travel agent. I can't answer that. I would imagine if you booked it through Carnival, you should. But I guess, I don't know. You'd have to talk to Carnival about that. Have you sailed with P&O Australia? I have not. I would like to. Honestly, I haven't been to Australia. I was there for like a day. You know what I mean? So, no. Disney is offering crazy deals right now. What do you mean crazy? So you're saying instead of the $50,000 cruise, we can get it for $40,000? I'm joking. I know Disney cruises aren't that expensive. Crazy deals right now because everybody is canceling. Oh, with the kid situation, yeah. We just canceled ours because the restrictions are insane. If Disney is giving deals, that's scary for cruising. Yeah, I wouldn't say scary, but maybe if you look at it, maybe it's an opportunity to get on some cheap cruises. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm telling you right now, I got the money off to the side. I'm about to just start booking. Also on the news, they said Carnival Freedom returns to the U.S., but they showed the freedom of the seas. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you could expect, a major news outlet to get something like that wrong. Let's be real here. I don't know. I didn't know you could cruise to Alaska in December. Your thoughts? No, you can't. Not in December. Not to my knowledge. I mean, if somebody's been on a cruise to Alaska in December, let me know. I mean, that'd be cool to check out this time of year. Let's see. We are at 4. We did 400. Oh, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We did it. Kiara S. Wow. Thank you for the $25 super chat, guys. You guys are super chatting away today. I appreciate it. Look, these are all going to be towards drinks for my next cruise, and I got a lot of them. They're going to be expensive next year too. So, I mean the NCL Prima. Guys, I'm going on like pretty much. I'm planning on jumping unless something happens with the industry. I'm going on basically all the newer ships, except for Celebrity Beyond. But I want to be on the NCL Prima, Wonder of the Seas. So yeah, I appreciate the super chats, guys. Thank you. You're helping me out a lot. Maybe I'll get the drink package now. Is there a window to let passengers know about canceled cruises? I don't think so, but I know the cruise lines, they are technically, they're giving out like delays as far as when you can make your final payment, stuff of that nature. Let's see here. I get different information. I've heard there are more cases for vaccinated people than unvaccinated. Should be a cruise just for unvaccinated people. Kidding, but I want your opinion. I think, yeah, guys, I've been talking about this all along. Like, if you look at these outbreaks that they're calling it going on ships, these are vaccinated cruises. So I think the whole idea of people saying, well, everybody should just get vaccinated if they want to cruise, I think it makes sense in the short term for people to get vaccinated. However, blaming the people that are unvaccinated because a vaccinated cruise ship has a bunch of cases on board is illogical. It doesn't make sense, you know? So just putting that out there. It's my 2 cents on it. But I don't know about I don't believe in division like that. There shouldn't be like vaccinated versus unvaccinated cruises and blah, 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 and, you know, not in a strict manner. I'll put it that way. Let me see here. Let me go down a little bit. Going on every new ship, even the Disney Wish. Whoa, I say nothing about Disney. All right, Disney, I don't have Disney Wish money. I wish I had Wish money, but I don't. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they'll have some deals, and I can go ahead and jump on it like ASAP. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. If cost isn't a factor, would you rather do Carnival or MSC? Carnival, for sure. Maybe, yeah, I mean, I'm going on the Carnival celebration, so, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up. I got a couple things I got to take care of before I go to practice tonight, go spin on my head. I know some people, guys, real quick, I know some people, they say they want to see like videos of me dancing. If you want me to put like a video at the end of my videos that I post of me like training or something, sometimes falling and hurt myself, I can do that. I could try it once if you guys want to see that, and I'll just let you know at the beginning of the video if I put that in there. I know you guys, you know, you want to see me dance and flip around and beat bop and break dance all over the place. I might do it. I might do it. Just put it at the end in case some people want some viewing pleasure at the end. All right, spinning on my head and stuff. Like I said, I mean, right now I'm getting ready. See, the muscles are coming back. Not really. I'm a little small right now, but I'm doing a lot of jogging, just getting back in shape. I got competitions all next year, so yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I have another video coming out tomorrow. I keep waking up late. Me and my girl, we keep going out and drinks. It's holiday season, right? I'm trying to post my videos like around 7:30, 8 o'clock. It ain't been happening. I'm doing my best, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in whenever I do post. It does go a very long way with my channel. If you guys see the notifications of my videos being posted up, just, if you guys wouldn't mind, you got time, just click it. You can mute it out or whatever. Just let the video play. It just kind of lets the YouTube algorithm know that people are actually clicking on my video. It's kind of nerdy stuff, but they got something called a click-through rate, and YouTube determines that by how many people are clicking on the video when it's shown to them. So, but anyway, guys, I hope everybody's doing well for the holiday season. Now we got New Year's coming up, and we'll be in 2022. Hopefully we can get rid of this pandemic, and hopefully we can get back to somewhat normal lives. Or we'll be in the new normal. Or maybe we'll all be in the metaverse. I don't know. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Hit that like button on your way out. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, on my video.